I'm wishing on a star to follow where you are. I'm wishing on a dream.
Hello, this is the Rian Show. This is my first documentary review. This is on Beyonce's Life is But a Dream, the HBO special. I actually, believe it or not, did this review written form for TRS about a month ago, actually. As soon as it came out, within that first week or the second week after, I did it. I just think maybe I was contemplating. I know I was kind of busy. I was on vacation and whatnot, but even when I came back, I was just contemplating: should I do it? Shouldn't I do it? And here I am doing it because I'm not like a big fan of Beyonce, but I feel like people need to hear it from a non-fan perspective, how they felt about the documentary.
Wishing on a star to follow where you are.
Beyonce, as her tour says, Mrs. Carter. This will be short and quick. Just have a few points I jotted down. She discussed, firing her father, and I know since she has credits in the documentary, it's her documentary actually. She has more credits than anyone else. It must have been somewhat difficult to kind of put that as part of your story, but I think it was very smart because we would want to know, how did you transition from point A to point C? You know what I'm saying? Right now she's at point C. She's not at point A no more. Point A is the old Beyonce with her dad. Now she's without her dad as her manager. He'll always be her daddy, but she's going to be a little bit different. Song choices like Bow Down and all that, these are going to be different because it's a different situation. It's a different business deal. It's no longer with Mr. No. So I respected her for that. Big up to Beyonce for including that into the documentary. Love song. That was a beautiful song to include into the documentary in more than one ways, whether it's concert or played in the background with with different remixes. That's kind of like what people like about concerts, because some people always have the ideology, why would you want to go to a concert where you can just listen to the CD at home for an hour? It's like, it's not the same. Seeing the artist is like saying watching a basketball game, even if it's level 400 at home instead of going to level 400. I went to level 400, Miami Heat, Sacramento Kings. It's on tape now. I had a blast. I had more than a blast. I was on cloud a million because that's my favorite sport team. So it's gonna mean more to me to see it. I got to see LeBron. I got to see everybody. My favorite player, Chalmers. So it does make a difference being there in person. And people like Beyonce and some others, they really put out hardcore concerts, whereas they're singing more, and then the criticism comes in there as, are they lip syncing? Or the criticism comes in other things because they're doing so much dance routines that they don't, they're not like other artists like Michael Jackson, and some other artists that will never lip sync. Like they work hard. They really put forth the effort, and they dance and they sing, whether it's concerts, whether it's live performances, award shows, whatever. So, but I do respect the fact that she had to add in there, show like, hey, I put out a good concert, It's like a slight promo. Come to my concert, Mrs. Carter, on tour. I have in here album comment, but this was written a long time ago. About a month ago, I wrote these notes. So I'm not sure what that album comment meant, but I had a quote in here that she said to stop pretending that you have it all together. And I really like that because I feel like she's put in the forefront, like in the music industry and all the industries, people always make it seem like they're perfect. And even if they never felt that way before they got in the industry and people put them on a pedestal, they try to live up to that pedestal and you can't. You really can't. I don't care how much money you have or lack thereof. You could never live up to that pedestal because nobody is what? Perfect. So put it out there, B. Another quote is, I think I need to listen to her song called Make Love. I've never heard it because I'm not a B fan like that. I don't check for her records like that at all. And actually make love to my husband. You know, everybody talked about that on HLN, CNN, everywhere. If they're talking about it, you know, all the bloggers are talking about it as well. Um, hmm, thought it was bold. It was a little bit TMI, but I like the fact that she did a little TMI because remember, someone who's kind of, I'm not saying she's sheltered, but I can see from past interviews of Beyonce is not as what they try to make her be in the sense of like as if she's so prim and proper. Like when you they dress her a certain way, they you know put her in certain deals, so business deals, so it looks like okay, this is prim and proper Beyonce. So if she does anything other than that, she's not Beyonce. Like no, if you looked at Beyonce when she was in Destiny's Child, the early stages, it showed her real self. That she's country, that she's ghetto, that she's what I'm saying, abrasive, she's fun, she's cool. She showed all those personalities. And it's just now she became Beyonce probably what in 2002, 2003. She did not. I guess it's called having a PR. She did not backtrack in front of us. The audience, whether we're watching a concert on TV or award show, all these different things, interviews. She's very prim and proper because the PR, whoever her PR is, she needs to really give them like a Lamborghini or something because they're really making her seem like what she's not. I know Beyonce is a little bit more ghetto than she's being portrayed, and that's why certain comments I wasn't too shocked, and certain decisions she made I wasn't too shocked. Um, but that's just a fact. That's not even something to if anyone feels any way about it, it shouldn't be. You shouldn't feel any way. I can even play back some early Destiny Child interviews, and you'll see. Because the reason why I keep saying to the early stages, when you don't have any, I'm not saying they didn't have fans, because it was in the early stages, so they had, probably about 1 million, 2 million fans. And obviously it's like worldwide now. But when you're new and you're new to the business, so your real side is showing. Who you truly are and at heart is showing before you have PR and all these different people telling you what to do, how to say it, whatever. So that's why I keep referring back to her early stages, her early interviews. Yes, she was younger, but there's even things she's done via Instagram and other outlets. Even recently, like last year, there was a lot of things she did last year. I thought that was really outside of her having a PR. It has to do with the fact that her dad is not there being like, no Beyonce, no Beyonce. I wouldn't suggest that Beyonce. I wouldn't recommend that Beyonce. So now that she doesn't have that parental figure, it's more like I'm gonna do what I want, and I'm actually personally glad that she's showing everything because like even me doing this right here, this is part of what I was talking about when I say she was like, I mean she did it in the more like I'm just doing it in a respectful way. I'm just chewing, but I'm not like rah, rah, you know what I'm saying? She was doing a little rah in one of those interviews that I was saying in the early stages. Like she was real. Her responses to the people who interviewed her is just. I was like, who is this girl? It's like she has no training, no home training. Anyway, but there's a lot of evidence to prove that you know her PR did water her down, and that's why people think like, oh, she's so different now. No, she's been the same Beyonce. You just didn't want to see what was there in the early, or you weren't even a fan in the early stages of Destiny's Child. So that's why you don't know. In the early stages of Destiny's Child, the original four. No disrespect to Michelle Williams, because I have Michelle Williams songs on my iPod. But the Destiny's Childs I love is the first four, the original. That's the one. Bugaboo, Say My Name. Those are my hearts. You know, when they did that gospel song. Amazing grace. Like, that gets me every time because they just sang the the piece. I can't try to think of, like, they just sang that song beautifully and very melodically. Like, I'm just making the words because it's just so beautiful. I don't know how to explain it. And I know I sidetracked a little bit, but I had to explain the fact that Beyonce Images was watered down. Now you're seeing the real Beyonce, and people are shocked that she put out a song called Bow Down. You shouldn't be that shocked. If you really are a true Beyonce fan, you should have known what I know. That's all I'm saying. No shade, but shade. Another comment I had was Beyonce showed her crew for a few minutes without just showing her, and I appreciated that too because if you really want a day in someone's life, they can't always tell it because there are times where they're busy doing something, but what is around them, only the people around them can be like. Solange can be like, all right, camera time. Her dad could be like, camera time, you know? Like, just showing what the surrounding is around her in different scenarios, whether it's home or, you know, the studio or setting up a tour or a concert or this or that, you know, preparing for the MTV Awards, all these different things that she on stage, it's not the same just putting a camera close to her face saying, okay, a day in the life of Beyonce, and all we're doing is this. No, we can't. Beyonce can't be her day in her own life. There's other people that make her day what her day is. You know, there's her support team, whether it's real family or, you know, from celebrity family. So I thought that was really cool. She really went into the whole girls who run the world, girls, all that. You know, at first I didn't like that song, but then when I thought about the girl empowerment to it, I said, okay, I'll give it a break. But at first I did not like that song. And then she went on to talk about how women don't earn as much as men, and you know, she gave a little bit of a good political answer to that, and I was kind of proud. I was like, oh, okay, you sound a little educated, my dear. She had a question that was just so like perfect. Like, it was just a. She asked, how do I stay current, but how do I stay soulful? It is the battle of my life. Because the thing is, you want to kind of put yourself out there, but not too much where you don't have nothing left. Like, I feel like people like Rihanna and Chris Brown. At first, Chris Brown was never the one to put out stuff. Because all he ever did was say, hey, I'm on Ustream, da 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 da. He and Tiger going, you know what I'm saying, having fun, and he and his friends, and he in the studio, he there, doing paintings. That was all he did for his fans. That's saying, this is coming my life. But when the whole Rihanna thing happened and he getting fights on Twitter with other people, then he started putting us in his life by saying more and more things. And so you can't be saying too much. Like, we don't need to know everything you do, Chris. We don't need to know everything Rihanna does and Jay-Z does and Kanye and Kim and the baby. We know. What we need to know outside of music is probably, oh, what is your favorite color? Or, you know, like, oh, I saw Beyonce on a boat in Saint-Tropez. Like, oh, Beyonce likes boats and she was sipping a mojito. Like, that's fine. That's the basic information we need to know. Stuff like, you know, what you like to eat and, you know, little stuff. All that stuff about, like, needing to know people's riders, which are like the concert requests, you know, when you were like doing a show and a concert and you're a celebrity and you're singing or whatever, and you want stuff back, certain things backstage. We don't need to know what their writer is. I don't want to. I don't want to hear it. That's none of our business to know if someone with doves in their room. They want puppies. They want Cheetos. And they specify which Cheetos. If it's not that Cheetos, there's going to be a problem. We don't need to know those things. They work so hard. Even if some of them lip sync, Beyonce. Brittany. Sorry, had to call everybody out. That I can think of who lip sync. They work hard. Even if they do lip sync, they do work hard outside of that. Because then if they're not singing, they're dancing. So if they want to request a certain Cheetos, a certain drink, a certain chair, let them. That has nothing to do with us. We worry about way too much in the celebrity's life. All we need to know about is little stuff. There's a photo of Beyonce drinking a mojito. Some minor. The minor things, neither here or there. Stuff they would probably see on Tyra or Tyra. There's no more Tyra. I'm so sorry, and I should know better. There's no more Tyra. But back in the days, obviously, I'm talking about when there was Tyra, and those kind of shows where artists like Rihanna and everybody would go on there, and Justin Bieber on like Ellen, and when they were like new to their career, they would like say things to help us get to know their personality and who they are. Those are the things we need to know as fans or viewers or potential fans. When you start giving us too much information, like I need to go make love with my husband, I don't need to know that. Yes, we know you're married, so that gives you the license to have sex. I don't need to know that because he's like 20 some years older than you. That's already gross enough. So I don't need to even hear about the possibility of you. I don't want to know. I don't want to hear. I don't want to talk about it no more. But it is hard to, decide as a person too, not even just a celebrity, just as a person. How much do you want to give to someone you're trying to get to know in the sense of, being a potential boyfriend or being a potential girlfriend or even being a potential friend? Like, how much do you give, and how much is not enough? So it's like that give and take. It's hard for everybody. I don't care if you're a celebrity or not. That doesn't make your problems less. More money, more problems. I don't believe that. I think there's just enough problems for everybody. Everybody has equal load of problems. The last two, Beyonce and her nephew were playing my favorite tune from the movie Big for Baby Blue Ivy. Dun 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 dun. And then it repeats. Ask me how I know. Hey, how do you know that? I know because I play piano. I was even thinking of playing for y'all, but I was like, I don't know. Never played on camera before. It would have been a perfect timing because I can actually play that song live, but no. Now I'm scared. No, maybe another time. Definitely not on this channel. Maybe on my I Am Rianne channel. But this is just reviews. I Am Rianne. I'll do everything else on. In the end, let's skip to the end. That was a beautiful thing though when they did that song from the movie Big. That was a beautiful song. It's one of my favorite tunes to play on the piano. I've been playing since I was a kid, a baby. I think since elementary. So and I'm 25 now. So from 20, elementary to now, it's crazy. Been playing for years. And then she showed the baby in the end. The baby. I can't. Ain't nothing wrong with the baby. What the problem is, people had and if I say this, can nobody be mad at me? I'm just repeating a rumor, which is not even a real rumor. We all know it's just for jokes. But basically, they had Drake's photo as like a kid or a baby or whatever next to Blue Ivy's photo, and All it means is that somewhere in the line of B and J, somebody got a white in them because Drake is white and black. So if Drake's baby photo can look like Blue Ivy's photo, that means somewhere, whether it's in Beyonce's side or Jay-Z's side, somebody has a mix of white in there. So when I tell you those photos look identical, it could have been photoshopped to make it look like that. I don't know if it really looked like that. That's one of the coolest, weirdest things ever. But the baby's beautiful, and I don't say that to say that. I'm saying that because that's how I feel from the bottom of my heart. Blue Ivy. If you ever see this one day, I can see her on the computer. She'll be savvy, computer savvy like her parents. Um, I really appreciated the documentary. It was a little bit awkward because I wasn't thinking of watching it. I was just advised to tape it, and I because one of my family members wanted to see it, and I was like, okay, I'll tape it for you because you never know. Sometimes, and then that happened that night. They happened to be not here; they were out. So if I didn't tape it, they would have missed it. They would have to catch a rerun. So, anyways, so I taped the premiere, and the next day we watched it together. And so I did do this review, the written form, the day after it premiered, but only now I'm actually airing it on YouTube. Very, very funny. Um, I promised it wouldn't be too long, and the whole documentary was like over 2 hours, an hour. It was a long time, so this is going to be about 20 some minutes. So that's good. It was a good discussion talking about Destiny's Child and Beyonce and Jay-Z and you know um, kind of the headaches of being a celebrity and just being proud that Beyonce did put certain things out there that because what happened is I felt like she was. I think part of the reason why I didn't like her when she went solo is because I felt like she was being fake. It was only because when your PR makes you look one way and then you're really one way. I don't like people like that. Like Rihanna, she gives you the real. You may not think it's approvable for kids and all that. And yes, I wouldn't let my niece have anything to do with Rihanna right now because she's a kid. But those 18 and older, you can buy Rihanna's albums. Those are fine. But she really keeps it real. She really does. I mean, when I say keep it real, like she keeps it more than real. Like she gives too much information out. That she was on Oprah talking about how Chris was giving her butterflies. I'm like, girl. And at the time, keep in mind, at the time he had a girlfriend. So I don't know. That's just TMI. Too much. Too much. From that situation, I knew it was over for Karuchi. I'm just saying. I know this turned into a little gossip, but I'm just saying it was over because I said everybody knows, just like how Joe Budden still loves Thierry. Everybody knows Chris Brown still is in love with Rihanna. You'll be a fool not to know that. Um, but just because someone loves you doesn't mean they're made for you. So people need to stop doing that, where they keep, you know, beating people who don't deserve them. And I'm speaking from experience to understand. That's how I can understand and learn, and really give that information because I've been there. Just because you love someone or they love you doesn't mean you're made for each other. Nobody's made for. I mean, there are obviously people made for you. I'm just saying. Nobody in the overall sense. I mean, you have to be complete within yourself. You have to love yourself. Once you have that, then within the relationship, it'll be a much smoother process. And back to B, great documentary. I love HBO, so shout out to HBO for doing it. And I would like to see a part two. I don't think there will be. I'm wondering what could you put into part two. Hey, I'm on tour. Just I like the fact that one thing I didn't mention, she kept showing old clips to show how she cared about Jay-Z, and I knew from the moment she was on Oprah gushing about, and there's another Oprah one too. And this Oprah was the original Oprah. She was on the Oprah Winfrey show in ABC. Was it ABC or CBS? Jesus, I don't remember where Oprah was. I think Oprah was on CBS. I'm not sure. I have no idea. It's been 2 years. She's gone. She's on her own network. Anyways, so when she was on the Oprah Winfrey show, I think they were talking about the house that they were on. They were talking about something. And they eventually started talking about Jay-Z. That was after the fact. I think they were married already. So, you know, she was a little bit more open talking about Jay-Z, especially with someone like Oprah. I guess they're like friends or whatever. And she was completely gushing over her husband. It was the cutest thing. It was. And from then, I knew it wasn't a gold digger situation. From then, I really knew that it's a sincere love. Like, it's not, you make this amount of money, I'm gonna mess with you. No, it's like, I don't care if you could be poor tomorrow. Like, I'm riding or die for you. You know, that's why they made that song Bonnie and Clyde. Hello. That's her Bonnie, and she is his Clyde. Beyonce, Giselle, Knowles, Carter. Shout out again, Blue Ivy Carter. If you saw in the end of the movie, you know why she's called Blue Ivy. It's on the ground. Pants on the ground. For everybody who got their pants on the ground is looking like a fool because they got their pants on the ground. For real. But subscribe, comment, favorite.
Subscribe, comment, thumbs up, favorite. You know, it's TRS, aka Very Real Show. I'm outie.
Yep.